Hello, let me know if you see me. So I test run the Zoom, so I knew it would work today. So hopefully you guys all see me. Just gonna make sure here. Yes, I see myself. Awesome. Wait, all right. Let's just see. Okay, if you guys see me, drop a hello below. Let me just make sure. Just want to make sure I can see your comments. You guys see me? Drop a hello below. Oh, I see 11 eyeballs, I think. Hold on here. Yes, perfect. There's Vivian, there's Lisa. And I'm coming to you from the beaches of the world. Oh, geez. I would love to be on a beach right now. I would love that. If any of you guys live by beaches, you should send me pictures. I would love to be by a beach. Hi, Sherry. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Jennifer and Vivian. Awesome. I can see your comments. If you're joining me here or on YouTube, drop your name. I love knowing who's with me. And yeah, this is going to be really cool. I'm interested to see how this turns out. I have never done a Q&A before. Okay, so I see comments coming in. I don't really see myself online though. Hold on here. I just want to make sure. Are you guys seeing my video? You guys see me, right? You guys can see me? Hold on here. Okay, now I see myself. Yes. Okay, I see Monica as well. And this prehistoric beaches qualifier. Well, I know you live in Alberta, so I don't think Alberta beaches qualify. So, or I want like tropical beaches, you know? Okay, so yeah, I see myself now. Good. Awesome. So if you're new here, welcome to the Fierce Woman community where we sculpt powerful bodies and champion mindsets. Like I said, this is going to be an interesting go. I'll see if I like it. I might not. I'll see. And maybe you guys can give me feedback at the end as well, whether you like the Q&A or not. And thank you to the ladies who did drop questions ahead of time, as it kind of helps a little bit with sort of the questions. And yeah, and I'll speak more about this in a second. So before we dive into it, hi, Anita, good to see you. Anita is one of our angels, so give her lots of hearts. She's probably talking to a lot of you in the messenger. Yeah, so I'm going to dive into some wins really, really quickly. I wanted to give a huge shout out to all our FFF ladies. They just wrapped up their 8-9 week program and they did so incredibly well. If you have not seen their win posts, drop win post below. We'll tag you on their win post. But I want to give a shout out to Yvette, Karen, Zeta, and Michelle. So Yvette, I wanted to specifically point out she has lost 44 inches and 16 pounds in 8 weeks, and her body looks radically different. If you have not seen her pictures, it's like crazy, amazing. Her belly's dropped so much. And when you look at her from behind, it's not even the same person from like this to like this. Like she looks phenomenal. So Yvette, super, super proud of you. I know you worked so hard in the program and you just had that spirit, the right heart to want to learn. Karen Benoit, I hope I said that right, lost 26.25 inches and 8.3 pounds. Her belly has dropped a lot and her low back fat has really gone in. I know she has some situations that she lives at home with other people, so it's been kind of hard for her. So I'm super proud of you, Karen. I know this was a big leap of faith for you to do this program. Zeta, you lost 22.45 inches and 6.6 pounds, and her belly has come down a lot. You can see the lines in her belly starting to come in if you haven't seen those pictures. And then if you take a look at her pictures, when you go to the win post, you'll see her legs and the back has really changed. Like that fat and the cellulite has really started to come down. I know one of our topic questions is cellulite. It has really started to smooth down as well. So super proud of you, Zeta. Thanks for cheering the ladies on, Monica and Jennifer. And Michelle, she dropped. So Michelle's a different case, a little bit of different. So she came to us already quite lean. So she doesn't have like a lot to drop. But if you actually look at her picture, she dropped 3 inches in her midsection and she has like these abs that are just like more defined now. So we're super proud of you. And her low back fat also went from, you know, like, it wasn't like she was never overweight, but it was just like a little bit extra. Now it's like super tight. So that's a big win for Michelle. And Michelle is like, she's an instructor as well. She teaches bar fitness and things like that. So just kind of up leveling her fitness. So all these ladies, you guys did so well. Again, give them lots of hearts because they worked really hard. Like the FFF program is an intensive 8-9 weeks of like hammering in a lot of these concepts. So if you are new and you don't know what our FFF group coaching program is, again, it is a small cohort, usually 5-6 women that we bring together, where we teach about inflammatory markers. We deep dive and analyze all of your food to make sure we understand what's happening in your food. We teach macro meals. So we teach you how you're going to combine your macros together to create the right types of meals for yourself. Like I said, I don't give meal plans. I like teaching you how to eat. So that's what we do in FFF. And then we teach on meal prep, how to have the right types of preparations and right substitutes for things that we think are healthier for you. And then we teach on like 3 things: quality, quantity, and timing of food. And then also they get a muscle building program along with it to learn how to build fierce, strong muscles. So super proud of all you ladies. And if you are new here, I see lots of congratulations. Hi, Sheila, good to see you. Sandy jumped in, Cynthia jumped in, Jen jumped in. Robin, hi Robin. Robin's in the 21-day program, and Laura, so awesome. So if you are wanting to learn more about the FFF group coaching program, we are in the uptake phase. We're going to be open about 3 weeks, and then it closes off the registration. So you have 3 weeks to be able to potentially learn about it or qualify into it. So drop FFF if you want to learn more about this group coaching program. Okay, so let's actually start first with some of the questions I gathered from the post. But before actually I talk about it, there is something I need to preface, okay? So number one, I'm not a doctor, okay? So if you have specific medical conditions, you need to consult your doctor, okay? Also, like, you know, I know I got lots of questions about different things like vitamins, and yes, absolutely, I talk a lot about vitamins, micronutrients and macronutrients, but sometimes specific things you have to consult your actual like holistic practitioner and things like that. I'm giving you more general knowledge, more education, and more specifically from my years of experience of coaching and in the industry and understanding a lot around it, and then having the knowledge base with working with clients, and then a lot of like the scientific literature, right? So just double check on that, because being a Q&A, I'm a little bit like, I want to make sure people are not taking this like I'm a doctor or something. Okay. So we got to make sure we're clear. My sister's a doctor, but not me. Okay. My sister's a surgeon. So, all right. So first of all, wow, lots of people jumped in. Hi, Maria. Hi, Sandra. Let's go to Sherry's question. So, Sherry, technically, like, there's a lot I could potentially show you, but I'm going to just describe this. So her question is, what exercises can I do to help me get up from a deep squat, because she has knee issues and she has a hard time getting up from the floor. Now, the first thing I'll say to you, Sherry, is it's not just one thing. Really, you need to develop strength overall. And when it comes to your legs, you have your quad muscle, which is your front, your hamstring muscles, which is in your back, and then your glute muscle, which is your butt, right? You actually need strength in all 3. And I think like sometimes when we are thinking about like, okay, I need an exercise, we often like isolate to this one muscle, but I believe that our bodies are strongest when we work it together, and also to work your core. So it needs to be everything together. Now, you asked, how do you achieve more strength from a deep squat? And so I get what you're saying. And I'm going to say this kind of jokingly, and then I'm going to give you something. Okay. So my dance coach a long time ago, I used to ask him like different things, like, how do I work on this move? Or how do I work on this move? And he goes, practice the move. And I was like, okay, like the best way to do it is to do the move. Now, I understand if you have a hard time getting up from the floor. So my biggest thing would be chair squats. So those of you who know what I mean is you have a chair in front of you, like you have your hand out in front, and you would actually hold the chair and go down in your squat and try to go lower and lower as time goes on while holding something, whether it's chair or a bench. And maybe as you work down to your squat level, like Sherry, if you're going lower and lower, you're holding something so you have the support, but you need to practice it. So this is another thing to keep in mind, everyone, is that when it comes to building strength, you have to do it in a concentrated fashion all together, right? So this is why when you go to see a physio, again, I'm not a physio, but I'm just saying, when you go see a physiotherapist, they will say, okay, you need to do this exercise, 3 sets of this at 10 reps, right? They will say concentrated fashion. The reason being is the only way to develop strength is if you create what? Muscle fatigue and mechanical damage. Right? And so you have to do it in a consistent fashion. So if you're like, because this is why when people are like at work and they get up from, let's say, a low squat like you, Sherry, it's so hard, and it continues to be really hard because you're only doing it once in a while. So you got to be consistently doing it, at least probably 3 sets of probably 10 reps. And you want to practice, I would say like every second day, probably on those squats to get better and better at the squats to build strength in it. But I'm going to say also like, again, Sherry, today I'm not building out your program or anything. I wouldn't also, if I was building out, I would build out your strength in your hamstring, which is the back of your legs. So a lot of times there's a lot of women listening to this, is that your strength in your legs, you actually have some quad strength. Think about it. When you walk, you're walking forward, right? So you're using more of a frontal plane of muscle. So we're actually already frontal people. This is why people like with not good posture, they tend to do this, right? Because we're all frontal people. The real trick is, for all women listening, is you really need to learn to balance the back of your body. The better you can get at balancing the back of your body, the stronger you are, right? So the back of your leg, Sherry, is hamstrings. So a lot of times when you feel really weak is actually your hamstring muscles are very, very weak. And that's a very specific movement and exercises I would program for you, maybe learning deadlifts or hamstring curls or different things to help build that strength. Now, another thing I'm going to say is your glutes as well. So a lot of women do work their glutes because they want nice butts, but your glute is a big driver for the balance of your hips. So, making sure you work on this as well. So not just quads, but everything together and your core. One more thing I'll say to Sherry, and I'll jump to the next question because I know lots of people are jumping in here, is the other thing you can think of, because I actually worked with my parents on this. So my parents also had trouble getting up from the floor. And my dad's 80, my mom's 70, I should know this, 74, 74. And so I was like, oh, no. They're not going to have trouble getting up from the floor. I'm going to help them. So if your knees allow you to do it, you put a really big cushion on the floor, kneel on it, and then you put one of your legs to the side. So, there's a little cushion, you put your feet up to the side, and then you hold the bench, and then you stand up from that position. Because what that will do is when you put your knee, like one knee on the pillow and one leg, like your feet on the floor, and you push up from that by holding something, you force your body to work from the bottom up, which is actually from the bottom up. Most people don't realize that actually is a lot of your glute. So from the bottom up, if you go down to your knees and put one leg to the side of the pillow and stand up, that's actually your glute. So it's actually giving you a lot more strength in the lowest part of your leg to get up, right? So hopefully that answers your question, Sherry. I know you're in the 21-day program, so we're meeting to actually talk. I know, so there's probably more specific things I can discuss with you. Lots of people jumped in. I'm so surprised. I don't know. I was trying this for the first time. I was like, oh, we'll see how this happens. Hi, I'm glad all of you joined me. There's Jocelyn, Suzanne, Condra, Sandra. Yeah, sorry, there's a lot. Melanie, Sharon, Shannon, Sherry, awesome. Joyce, Tracy, awesome. Okay, so I'm going to jump to the next question here so that I can get to the ones who did actually originally put questions down. Okay, so Jennifer, you asked about loose skin. So how many of you actually struggle with loose skin? I actually am curious. Put loose skin below if you struggle with loose skin. So she was asking for, can you go over things that help with loose skin, like saunas, red light therapy, chiro, massage, okay? So first of all, let's start with, can you tighten loose skin? And the answer is yes, you can tighten loose skin to a certain degree, of course. So I'm going to go through some of the ways you're going to tighten this, but of course, as you know, if you've stretched it so much, then obviously there are certain points where maybe, oh, I see a lot of loose skin. Melanie, Jennifer, Lisa, Debbie, Joyce. Yeah. Well, hey, Jennifer, you hit a good topic. Look at you. So yes, you can tighten loose skin, but it's, to a certain degree, meaning if it's been stretched too much or there was really rapid weight loss. So this is kind of why those like fad diets aren't really good when people try to lose weight too fast. It's like if it's too fast and the body has no ability to catch up to you, then sometimes you have too much stretched skin and sometimes you may need surgery for that. But I'm going to talk from the standpoint of like generally like a little bit of stretched skin and how you're going to actually improve the appearance of it, right? So the first thing I already said it, gradual weight loss is your best friend. So again, I know we want to lose weight fast a lot of times as women, but if you have a lot of weight to lose, you don't want to lose weight fast, because if you lose too fast, your skin can't catch up with it. So try to do it more gradual. Slow and steady wins the race. It's actually the same as a lot of things in muscle building and as well as macros. When people play around with their macros like crazy and change things like crazy and macros go up and down like crazy, you can cause a lot of damage to the body. So you always want gradual. Okay, that's the first thing. Hi Kat, good to see you. And Teresa. So the second thing, not surprising, I'm going to say this, is obviously strength training and muscle building is going to be awesome for helping you tone up the muscle. And this is where you, I'm going to say this and then I'm going to clarify. You can actually work the muscle in the area that you want to tighten the skin. Okay. You work the muscle in the area you want to tighten the skin. So let's talk about this. I had a live where I spoke about you cannot spot reduce, meaning you can't just go to one area of the body and reduce fat. That's not possible because fat oxidation and the utilization of fat in your body happens throughout your body. So you can't spot reduce fat, but you can spot tone your body. So this is actually where it's actually incredibly important at all 27 eyeballs. I'm actually surprised. I was like, Q&A, no one's going to show up. So I'm happy that all 27 of you are here. So you can't, but you can spot tone. So this is why you need a really good muscle building program. If I had to go back to like, does your workout program have a really good specific like program to like build your muscle like stomach, your shoulders, your glutes? You want to make sure you have good exercises that really targets it if you really want to tighten and tone that area really well. So making sure you have a good workout program for that. Okay. Number 3 is proper hydration. So I always speak about proper hydration. So water is so important for life, and there's so much behind that. But the more hydrated your skin, of course, the smoother looking your skin will be. And then number 4, you want to make sure that this is all about loose skin and tightening skin. You want to make sure that you have obviously good nutrition, because, if you don't have good nutrition, you gain weight, lose weight, gain weight, lose weight, your skin is just going to lose its elasticity, right? So you want to prevent that as much as possible. If you guys are all listening right now, you want to prevent this like up and down, up and down, up and down a lot. That's not usually super healthy, and it will affect your skin health. Okay. But your good nutrition, you want to make sure you have a full profile of vitamins, minerals, all of that. But there's certain ones that is important for your skin. So things like vitamin C, E, and zinc are all important for boosting collagen. Okay. So if you want to have better skin elasticity, having vitamin C, E, and zinc is very important. Okay. Number 5 is moisturizing your skin. So obviously the better you hydrate, it's just like hydration inside out, right? The better you moisturize your skin, the better your skin texture will look in around the area. And again, you can have products that have like, collagen, shea butter, or hyaluronic acid. Those ones kind of help a little bit with tightening the skin. So those ones can really, really help. And hi, Lana. Yes, I see you, Tina. Awesome. And Sharon. Number 6 is exfoliation, massage, so things that are you kind of moving the skin and moving the body, like massage, exfoliation, maybe even body contouring. Now, do I believe, okay, let's talk a little bit about this. So do I believe that if you didn't eat well or exercise, and then you went and obviously was just like, I'm just going to get massage and I'm going to exfoliate, or I'm going to I guess there's a lot of these body contouring type things, that you're going to have this nice tight body and skin? No, I think that first and foremost is what I spoke about first, is your nutrition and exercising the natural ways. As you guys already know, I speak a lot about this. But if you are doing those things, you are exercising, you are eating healthy, some of this extra on top can be helpful. So maybe with massage or exfoliation, or maybe sometimes these body contouring, there's laser and different things like that. What it is doing actually is it's increasing a blood circulation in your body and then stimulating collagen. So it can help with the appearance of the skin. So yeah, exfoliating, doing, I know the brushing, they talk about that. It can help. It's kind of maybe 10%, 15%, it'll help a little bit, but it's not going to help you if you don't know how to eat. It's not going to help you if you continue to inflame your body. It's not going to help you if you don't really learn how to build the strong muscles. So it's kind of that's the more the extra on top. But since Jennifer asked about it, so I thought to also address that. She also asked a little bit about red light therapy. So I'm going to first of all say I have not tried red light therapy, but I have heard good things about it. So if you guys are new to that, you might just to understand it, to basically what it is that your body absorbs light, right? Every cell has photoreceptors, and red light is one of those low laser lights that your body can absorb and is the deepest to penetrate into your skin. I think it penetrates 3 millimeters into your skin, so it can go quite deep. And so basically red light therapy is that your body is absorbing the energy from the red light, and energy is neither created nor destroyed, according to the first law of thermodynamics. So basically, you're taking the energy of that light and it's going into your body, and to help you produce more energy in your body, which is mitochondria. So last live, I talked about as you age, your mitochondria actually starts to decrease. And so as you age, what they are saying is that red light therapy will help you with actually being able to have more energy absorption and be able to produce more mitochondria. So there's a lot of benefits they say to it. This is an area of research that's continuing to be researched. So this is why I'm just sharing with you that, I'm not saying yes or no. I haven't tried it. I'm just letting you know what is behind the red light therapy. So the red light therapy, they say, will help you have more energy. It's going to help you with having better mood. It's going to help you with more, again, blood circulation, collagen production. So you're going to have better skin, better wound healing. So a lot of that is being continually studied. And so it's something that I think it's worth kind of looking into. But again, I would say in order of importance, right? So again, if you don't have your nutrition on par, let's just say this, Kate, this is my philosophy, and I know this is Q&A, but if you're going to go sometimes people spend I don't know, thousands of dollars getting a red light therapy thing for their home, and they go to all these special treatments, and they're spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on this, but you don't spend time and money towards learning about your nutrition. I think you have it backwards, because no matter what, all of these things that you're talking about here, it's all superficial, and it's from the surface in. But I always say that I believe change always occurs from the inside out, from within yourself, within what you personally do inside outwards, right? So I believe that I much rather see people actually truly learn more about nutrition inside, working out naturally, creating the right types of signals and things inside the body than to go from an external. But like I said, if you have already done those things, then some of these extra things can now be the cherry on top. Does that make sense to all of you? Hopefully that makes sense. So I guess one of my questions to you is, how many of you believe that you actually need to understand your nutrition better first before trying to buy gadgets? You can buy a red light therapy, I think, object, gun or whatever, or a panel. I think you can buy a panel. But I guess my question is, how many of you believe you actually need to know your nutrition better first before going to all the gadgets? So if you believe that, or you need to work on your nutrition first, say nutrition below. Okay. And I say this because I want to make sure people aren't, there's a lot of things that we get caught up into, the fads, and oh, I'm gonna go buy this red gun, I'm gonna go buy this, I'm gonna go buy this, I'm gonna buy the brush, I'm gonna do this, but still your body is not changing because you never took out inflammation markers in your body. Every day you're eating inflammatory markers, every day you're putting excess fat in your body, every day you're imbalancing your hormones. And so this is kind of why I'm a little bit, I don't like talking about a lot of these other things, because sometimes I'm worried people will go off and buy all these gadgets, right? So I'm glad that a lot of you are saying, yes, nutrition first, nutrition first, nutrition first, nutrition first. Excellent. Awesome to hear that. Monica, Sonia, Carter, and Sandy. Awesome. Awesome. And of course, like I said, if you're already on par with everything else and you're okay, I already did all that, and this is just a cherry on top, then I say go consult a specialist in that area, right? So awesome. Now, Bridget, I will come back to you. Maybe Oshone or Anita or one of the angels, if you can write down some of these questions that are coming in, then we can keep track of it, because I want to answer the ones who wrote their questions on my post yesterday, because they get priority first. And then I'll come back around to you, Bridget, or you just remember your question, okay? Or yeah, one of the angels, if you can write it down, that'd be awesome. Okay, so let's go to Mara Azagor. Mara, are you on here? I want to answer your question. So she asked about vitamins, and after 40. She's like, vitamins, what kind of vitamins to take after 40? So I did do multiple vitamin lives and micronutrient lives, but I'm going to go through it a little bit in general with you. So my take on it is, number one, of course, whole natural foods is number one. That is number one. But then, of course, I believe that because you can't get all your nutrients from just whole foods. So the reason behind that, okay, and obviously, again, I'm expressing a thought, and sometimes you may agree, sometimes you may not. But in terms of our society, especially in North America, the agriculture and the way they farm, a lot of times the nutrients are really lost from the soil. And when they did studies of nutrient profiling in food, like in the vegetables and things like that, they found like 40, 50 years ago, the nutrient profiling in those vegetables and food was way higher than now. So that means now our food doesn't have the same type of nutrient profiling from all that excessive agriculture. Sometimes, depending on what you buy, might have a lot of pesticides and different things like that. And that, like, there's a lot of like long transport kind of situations, and then food as it transports loses its nutrient value. So you just may not be getting as much as you need in your body. So my take on vitamins is it is an insurance policy to your whole nutrition. Your whole natural nutrition that you eat is first, and then you should supplement to fill in the nutritional gaps. Okay, so I believe that you should have a very good multivitamin. That's the very first thing. Because why? Because you don't know sometimes which vitamins you're lacking, and having a good, like really good quality whole vitamin is going to help you fill in as many nutritional gaps as possible. And then specifically, like, what are some specific ones that I believe is really important for women? I believe vitamin B is extremely important. Vitamin B is involved in thousands of cellular processes, DNA and collagen and different things that are produced in it. Biotin is within a vitamin B compound. Biotin is known to help you with healthy skin and nails. I think vitamin B is so important for your metabolism, as well. If you want to separately take biotin, some people do for skin and nails. Collagen is very important for your tissues, all of that. So vitamin B for sure, collagen. I would say vitamin D, unless you live in a very sunny place that you get sun all the time, but a lot of people don't get enough vitamin D, and vitamin D is involved with your mood, your digestive system, as well as your immune system, as well as your muscle building potential. So those of you in my 21-day program, oh, there you go. Carolyn just popped in and she's in my 21-day program. So, and I know she was just talking to me about vitamins actually. Vitamin D is actually very important in your process of muscle building, but it's not always direct. It's how it's being used in the process. So yeah, vitamin D is important for a lot of things. I believe for women, you need calcium, magnesium, D. I believe that calcium, as women, we lose a lot of that calcium as we age. And so that's really important. And as well as I believe omegas are extremely important. But if you eat fish regularly, like I eat fish a lot. I think Anita knows this. I like fish a lot. So if you eat fish regularly, maybe you don't need it as much, but omegas are really important, and for a number of different reasons, because it can help you with decreasing inflammation in your body. It also has some impact on your hormonal profiling as well, which of course today I'm not going to get into it. So this is generally the things I would recommend from my own personal use. Again, I'm going to say I'm not a doctor and I'm not a holistic, functional medicine doctor or something like that. If you have specific needs, you might need to consult your doctor, or I need to know you more personally. Once I know you more personally, or you're like Carolyn or some people who are in the programs, then I really know what is possible for your body, right? So let me ask you, from all the things I just discussed about vitamins, how many of you have all of them? So like in terms of your vitamin profiling, you have all the things I said is really crucial for your body. So say all of them are missing. and maybe say what you're missing for vitamins. So I say you should have a really good quality multivitamin. You should have vitamin B, collagen or biotin. You should have calcium, mag D, vitamin D itself, and omegas. Now, how many of you have all of that? Say all, or if you're missing something, say you're missing this. Okay, you have all of them. Excellent. Yeah, Jennifer, you know, I know we talked about it, and you have an actual functional medicine doctor, I believe. And yes, Vivian, and we've talked, so I know that you have that. And Sherry, awesome. So you guys are doing good on that. And remember, it's just a supplement. Okay, we need to make sure good food is there. Your supplements will never replace your good whole foods. So if you buy all the vitamins in the world, which I've seen many people do this, they spend money on vitamins, but they don't actually eat well in their actual food. It's not going to help you that much. It's going to help a little bit, but you didn't ever correct the actual whole food portion of it. So remember, it is just a supplement that may help you with 10-15% of it, right? So missing some, Carolyn. Yeah, and I think I sent you some recommendation, right, Carolyn? I sent you an email back. So yeah, Monica, you're missing some of that. Yeah, and then yeah, we can reach out to you on that. And I was asked about, do I specifically, so I'm just looking at your question here, Mara. Do I recommend any brand? And yes, I do. I'm very particular about what brand. Obviously now I rep for a brand, but I think that as long as, so this is my caveat, is whatever vitamin you choose, the vitamin industry is a very scary place because it is not a regulated industry, and particularly in the United States. Canada is a little bit more strict. The US is crazy. Anything goes, like anything just goes, you know? And what's problematic about that is that they can put anything they want into the vitamins and it's not regulated. So in order for you to make sure your vitamin is actually proper, you have to make sure it is verified by a third-party independent tester. That is the biggest thing, because I don't want to be on here just promoting my brand. That's not what this is about. That's why I don't really always talk about brands. I just want to make sure that you are equipped to know the best way of evaluating these things, right? So they have to be either NSF certified, UPS, I think, yeah, I might have the words wrong. USP, I think. USP, correct. Is USP and then consumer lab tested. I believe those three labels have third parties that independently test it. Now, the brand I rep for is NSF certified, is one of the highest quality third-party independent testers. Every year, in order for them to get the seal of approval for what they say on the label to what is in the bottle, which they are tested for amount and quality and accuracy, they have to pay $1,000 per product to get it audited. So that's why I know like the brand that I rep for actually has really high quality brands. And you want to ensure that the vitamins you choose do not have synthetic vitamins in it as much as possible, okay? As much as possible. Oh, GMP, yes, and GMP, because Jennifer has a functional doctor, holistic doctor. So yeah, GMP as well, thank you. So yeah, you want to make sure your vitamins does not have synthetic chemicals in it as much as possible. There are some vitamins that are very unstable. And so the reason why I know this is because I've called these different vitamin brands and talked to them. And I talked about the research, how they make it. And so one of the things they talked about is that some vitamins, because it's really unstable, if they try to put it into pill form, it will disintegrate and then it will go bad. So sometimes they have to do a little bit of like a laboratory kind of creation to make it, but you don't want, like, that's okay, but you don't want it to be coming from like petroleum and sometimes what is coal tar and some of these vitamins like certain brands, which I'm not going to say now because I think I'm going to be on YouTube. Some of these store-bought brands you guys get at your store has vitamins that are being pulled from petroleum and coal tar, and that's what I'm really concerned about, that ends up in your vitamin, right? So yeah, if you want to learn more about the brand that I rep for, just put vitamins below and I'd be happy to share with you. Again, I'm not here to just be like, this is my brand. I just want you to have the best quality vitamins. So as long as it's verified by those things that we just said, NSF certified, the USP, the Consumer Choice, or GMP, okay? But personally, I've been using my brand for 10 years, so I can tell you, I highly believe it and I know what it does and the quality behind what it does, right? So yeah, put vitamins below if you want to learn more in regards to that. All right, so that should answer your question, Mara. Yes, I think so. So let's go to the next one. Yeah, okay, so the next one's similar. Valerie actually asked about, are there specific supplements to take for weak connective tissues? So I kind of already mentioned it. Collagen is kind of the biggest thing, because collagen is the main protein found in connective tissues and tendons and ligaments. So if you want to have better like strength and elasticity, taking collagen is important. And you want to kind of go for more hydrolyzed collagen. Is the easiest to be absorbed. Hydrolyzed collagen peptides, those are the easiest to be absorbed by your body. And yes, I see all the vitamins come in, so we will reach out to you. And vitamin C, I mentioned earlier, it plays a really crucial part in collagen synthesis. So if you have weak connective tissues, making sure you have enough vitamin C is really important. And of course, you can get that from eating citrusy fruits as well. But just, you know, I would say if you have weak ones, you could benefit from supplementing, because I also don't need you to be eating tons of fruit, which is high in sugar. So that can also affect, you know, too much sugar in your body. So vitamin C is a good one. I also spoke about this earlier. Omega-3 fatty acids help with like the, you know, the anti-inflammatory markers in your tendons, and kind of helps with those joints. So that can be really, really helpful. And then in the kind of joint health side of things, in terms of supplement, there's glucosamine and chondroitin. There's also MSM and silica. Now, these are really specific compounds for joint health. And research is always done on this, and there's always mixed results regarding this. I do know in glucosamine chondroitin, in terms of like personal use and kind of a lot of the people I've helped, I have heard really positive things about glucosamine and chondroitin and how it helps with the joints. So yeah, and obviously I have the joint health, specifically that supplement as well. So if you want more about the joint health, you can put joint health below. But anything beyond the collagen, which is natural, omega-3, which is natural, and vitamin C, again, I will just say it is always being researched. So it's something that it's like you have to decide if it is worth it for you or worth it to, you know, pursue that. But I have heard good things about glucosamine and chondroitin. Okay. So yes, I see a lot of vitamins come in, Bridget, yes, and Charlotte. And I know lots of people are popping in earlier. I'm not saying hi to everyone, but I do see you guys came in, like Kimberly and a whole bunch of you, Dee, Sonia, all of you. So awesome. All right, next question. I'm trying to go through these questions really fast. Kathy, are you on here? Kathy Lee? That's Lisa's hairstylist, I know. So she put, her question is about menopause belly fat. Okay, how many people are struggling with menopause belly fat? I feel like this is a hot one. Everyone's going to be menopause belly fat. Okay, so if you struggle with menopause belly fat, put menopause belly fat below. So she specifically, so put menopause belly fat. So Sonia, you struggle with that? Yeah, put menopause belly fat. So she said, what exercises do I need for my menopause belly fat? So I smiled when I saw that, because I think my own clients will know what I'm about to say. They will know. So, Kathy, there is no exercise that is going to help you with menopause belly fat. And then you might be like, oh no, why? Like, I what? Okay. So menopause belly fat is not really about exercise. It is about your nutrition. Okay. Nutrition is your biggest reason why you have belly fat. Okay. And I will start first with, most of the time, someone having belly fat is a massive indicator of inflammation in your body. Belly fat is highly inflammatory when they, let's say, do studies and pull cells within the belly area for people with big bellies. So I see lots of people with menopause belly fat. I see it here. Yes, Jennifer, Carolyn, Monica, Sonia. They would do tests on like C-reactive protein and all of these like interleukin 6 and all of these like very inflammatory kind of markers and proteins. They find high amounts right in the belly, right? And so that is why I say, if you have belly fat, it's a big indicator something is going on. I don't care if you tell me you eat healthy. I will say you have inflammation in your body. Something is happening, because otherwise you wouldn't be struggling with big belly. Now, if you're someone like Vivian, who is very tiny and has like a little bit of fat, that's not belly fat. That's subcutaneous fat, like just the surface, like this, like everybody has surface level, that's not, I'm talking like belly fat, right? That's what I'm referring to. So belly fat is very inflammatory. And so it has to be about correcting your nutrition, and first targeting inflammation. And then once you have target and brought down inflammation, the next thing in knowing how to reduce the belly fat is then understanding your macros, kind of the quantity and quality of the food entering your body. Because after you've decreased inflammation in your body, and your body has better signals to start to have fat oxidation and all of that, it needs to have a certain amount of caloric deficit, a certain amount, not a lot, but then it has to have the right amounts of macros, protein, carbs, and fat, to understand like that it's not like starving, that it's getting all its nutrition, that the hormones are more balanced. And so the next level of reducing the belly fat is actually really understanding your macronutrients, right? Vivian, you had a lot before. Oh yeah, that's true, Vivian. When Vivian first started the FFF program, that's true. She had a lot because she's so tiny. She was trying to gain weight, but she was eating all the wrong things, like potato chips. So no matter how skinny you are, you could be skinny fat, right? You could be skinny fat, like skinny and fat at the same time with belly fat. So yeah, Vivian was there, but once she went through the program, now she doesn't have any. So she may have like this much 0.2 on her body for so yeah, Robin, you agree. Awesome. Yeah. So in terms of the menopause belly fat, first learn how to bring down inflammation markers in your system, then learn about macros to have the proper quantity and quality of food in that. And then you add in exercise to help overall with boosting the process of losing weight or losing fat. But exercise on its own can't necessarily reduce belly fat. And this might be surprising for some, maybe not if you followed me for a long time, but I will tell you that you can go to the gym and you can watch people. And you will see that there are some people who go to the gym every day or every second day, and they are regulars, but they still have a belly. So it will tell you that it actually isn't about exercise. Exercise can help boost the amount of calories you're using. But if every time you eat, you're inflaming your body again, yeah, good luck. This is why so many of my clients come to me and they say, like, I work out so much, Clarice, how come I still have a belly? How many of you are in that situation that you're like, I work out a lot, but I still have a belly? Like, how many of you are in that situation? Just say, just say me too, I guess, or yeah, me too. Then we'll remember this Debbie, you might have to help me with this. Like when you see me too, it means belly fat or something, or me too belly or something like that. Then we will know when we go back through it, right? So how many of you work out a lot and still struggle with a belly? That is going to tell you that it is all about nutrition, particularly the belly area. Me too, Sonia. Yeah, Sherry, you as well, you said? I think you said. Yeah, so yeah, Jennifer, and you're working on that, Jennifer. You're definitely coming down a lot. So so that basically answers your question, Kathy. She also asked me a question in regards to, I always get asked this, how many grams of protein do you need a day? So again, all my clients probably already know what I'm going to say. So do my clients know what I'm about to say? I think my clients do. Oh, Robin, you have belly. Yeah, exactly. But Robin, you're in my 21-day program. So I think you're learning a lot about information right now. So that's the first step. The first step. The next step for you is to learn macros, which we're gonna probably talk about in our conversation. I know we have I think a call booked. So how many grams of protein do you need a day? So the biggest thing about this is somebody is looking for a magic number, and there is no magic number. The RDA, the Registered Dietitian Association, like they'll say 0.8 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight, but that's like minimum. That's like, so you don't like disintegrate and starve. Like that's not optimal, like it's like, okay, 0.8 grams per kilogram of body weight. And there's a lot of different associations that will say different things. And it ranges from like that all the way to 2.2 grams per kilogram of body weight. So that's a massive range. That's like more than double of what is potentially recommended. So why I actually am saying this is because actually there is no perfect number I can give you right off the bat here, Kathy. What I need to know is I need to know more about you personally. There's so many factors involved. So currently your weight, your height, how active you are, how much cardio do you, how much lifting do you do, how do you lift? Do you lift intensely? How much do you work the muscles? What's your rest and recovery? What type of body type are you, et cetera, right? So this is kind of why I always say this, that I can't give you a magic number on a live like this. You need to work with a professional and really hone in on what is your ideal goal based on all the factors that surround your personal body, right? And so I think that is like something that you just have to keep in mind, that there is, I guess you could kind of take a general of all of those ranges and just do a general, but I'll say this, if you take general numbers, you'll get general results. But if you get specific numbers, you'll get specific results, right? So just keep in mind that once you can learn more specifically what your body needs, you'll get better results. And so I guess how many of you guys feel like you need to know your protein macros a bit better? So if you feel like you need to know your protein macros a bit better, put protein macros below. If you feel like you need better understanding on that. Yeah, Debbie knows, because Debbie's been with me for a long time. So she said, depends on many things, no one size fits all. Debbie, you get the Star Student Award, okay? She already knows me. She knows what I will say for that. And Robin, you're learning a lot. Awesome. So yes, hi Margaret, good to see you. Protein macros. Okay, Monica, yeah, we will note you down for that. Also, Kathy asked about dairy. She just asked, what do I put in my coffee? So because I don't like dairy very much, I actually don't really drink a lot of coffee right now, and normally I don't really add a whole lot of stuff to my drinks, but if I do, it will either be oat milk or almond milk, and usually the no sugar kind. So I usually just go for alternatives. There's tons of alternative options to dairy, right? So yeah, just keeping that in mind. All right, how are we doing for time? I think we're okay. So we're gonna go to Mindy. Okay, so Mindy, you have a similar question here. So Mindy says, what are good macros to hit? Right. So I just kind of answered it with the protein answer, I suppose. Right. So I know that every woman wants to know what is good macros. Okay. Macronutrients. If I was to say, well, textbook says 50, 30, 20, which you can pull off anywhere around the internet or any book, or, some might say 40, 40, 20 or whatever, you're going to get general ranges, right? So that's the general range I can give you, Mindy. But I'm going to tell you again, right? The same thing I said above, that's textbook. I don't use 50, 30, 20. No, I don't know if I've ever used 50, 30, 20 on myself or my coach, right? I don't know. I think about Oshone. Well, maybe Oshone. Shoni has a very specific body type. And then Vivian, think about Vivian. I feel like Vivian's like up to like way higher. Her macros are way different because she's an ectomorph. So it's hard for her to gain weight. So, so what I'm saying is that like, it's going to be different for you based on all the factors I mentioned above in the protein macro. And yes, you can go generally, you can even go online, just go macro calculator, just go in and just calculate it. It'll give you a general range. Is that correct for you? I have a lot to say about that. This is what I'll say to all of you who are watching is this. The better you can learn your nutrition and understand the role of protein, understand the role of carbs and different kinds of carbs and what they do in your body, and understand the role of fat, the better you are going to understand how these macros work in your body and then get it more and more precise to your body. Because carbs are not all the same, and certain people need certain types of carbs more than others based on maybe what they do, what their goals are. I see a big smiley face from Julia. Sorry, I'm not even looking. I'm just like, I will come back to this. I will come back to your comment here. But yeah, and then as well, if you have goals of like building a lot of muscle, like, are you lifting a lot? Now let's go to this like specific point. Like when you say a lot, what do you mean? Are you lifting 8 pounds, 10 pounds, 15 pounds, 20 pounds? Or are you someone who's actually like fully deadlifting, like 150, 200 pounds, you're squatting 180, you're bench pressing 120, 30 pounds. Man, I'm going to give you different macros on the difference in the way you train. But both women might tell me they lift heavy. But there's a difference, right? And so then the protein macros are going to be different. And then fat macros are going to be different because fat macros relate to hormones, and at different age points, you may have different needs on your fat macros, right? So I know that a lot of people don't like it when I don't give exact numbers, but if I give you exact numbers, which I did like in general, I was like 50, 30, 20, here you go, right? It's a Band-Aid. And I don't like Band-Aids because you know what? It sucks when you rip that Band-Aid open and there's a wound underneath because you never addressed the problem. So no Band-Aids. Learn your nutrition, get on a good program, go and learn it, or go learn it yourself, become a nutrition coach, like learn it yourself, learn it through a program, learn it from or work with a coach precisely. Like I learned the most when I worked with my coach really precisely around my body and the macros and how we were dialing and adjusting and getting me to stage. I learned the most during that period when I actually had a coach who worked with me and really walked with me through my different seasons between the leanness to gaining weight back for the muscle building to leaning out again for stage. So I would say like definitely go and try to learn it and try not to like just like skim it. It's worth it. You will always thank yourself that you learned about macros. So yeah, sorry, lots and lots coming in. Let me see. I see Julia, you popped in. Debbie says that is my struggle, oat milk with no sunflower oil. Yeah, check your ingredients. Exactly. You may need to make your own. Yeah, a lot of things is probably better sometimes to maybe even make your own oat milk or things like that. Yeah, Vivian, I dialed her macros 11 times. So you see 11 times there, Vivian said that. So So just know that like to get something really accurate to your body, it has to be very specific to you. So like that's an example. Now Vivian's a bit extreme because she is an ectomorph, which makes it really hard for her to gain weight and gain muscle. So hers was dialed a lot more. Yes, and then Julia, I see the big smiley face. Thank you. Yeah, and Jennifer, you said you haven't made it before, but I do know you can make your own like cashew milk and things like that. And so Vivian, how do you dial the macros? What I just said, you have to know the person. You have to consider a lot of things within that range of things to know what is and what's their tendency around how they eat, what they process. Like some people are more carb processors, like yourself, Vivian. Some people are more protein processors. Some people are more fat processors, and that is sometimes determined by your genetic. So that's why it's like there isn't like an exact until I know you. But Vivian, I know you. So that's why I know like there's a lot of things specific that you have to be very like very specific to you, that your macros that nobody else has, right? So hopefully that makes sense. Keisha, you just popped in. Okay, so those were all the questions at least I saw on the post. So next time we do a Q&A, you want to make sure your question is answered, make sure you write it on the post because you get first priority. But I want to jump back to, I think it was just that question above, right? Is that right? There was one question around fat blockers, if I'm correct. I forget who asked that. Bridget. So Bridget asked about fat blockers. Do carb blockers work? Okay, so here's the thing is the way carb blockers work is they're supposed to block up to, I think, 30 or 50% of the carbs you eat. Okay, by using some sort of compound. I think sometimes it's like kidney beans where you can't digest it and then it like wraps around carbs so that you can't digest it and then you're supposed to poop it out, basically. Bridget, okay, thank you, Debbie. Yeah, and so does it work? I would say that it could work because what it's trying to do is it's trying to block, and by using the kidney beans or other things and other compounds, it's making your body not able to absorb it. But what I will say is that's, of course, a Band-Aid. If you don't learn how to eat properly and you only use carb blockers to block carbs, then you're not learning about healthy nutrition. And what can end up happening is your body is not able to absorb the nutrients from the carbs that you do need. And then now you're throwing your body off. And not to mention that if it causes you to block it and you need to poop it out more, it can cause digestive disturbances that you don't want. And for all my 21-day anti-inflammation ladies, you know how important your gut health is. And you could easily disrupt your gut health if you kind of take a lot of carb blockers that is causing stress in your system and forcing more waste products to be produced and all of that. And so I would say try to stay away from that. If it's like a one-off thing because you really believe, like, I don't know, there's just something you can help, some event or something, maybe, but it's really something, it's like a one-off. It's not something I would say you should be depending on. You should learn how to eat healthy naturally and learn the right amounts of carbs in your system of what you need so your body can have the opportunity to naturally absorb the nutrients it needs. Because basically, if you block it, what are you blocking? You're blocking the good and the bad, maybe, if that makes sense. You're blocking maybe good nutrition from entering your body as well. So that's kind of my response to that. Yeah, so I think I try to speak really fast. I think I answered everyone's question. Was there any other questions? If I can, I'll try to answer. Sometimes some questions are, like I said, I might not be able to answer. Was there any other questions? I'm just scrolling through to make sure I didn't miss anything. Any other questions? I'll wait a little bit because I know sometimes people are typing. bananas and magnesium. That's funny. Okay, because Debbie likes bananas. No, I'm joking. Okay, so bananas, I always say it is healthy. It's not that it's not healthy. Banana actually has a compound, which I forgot what it's called, but it has a compound that does help your digestive system, like soothe your digestive system and help you go to the bathroom a little bit better. However, the reason why I've spoken about bananas a little bit is because it's such a high sugar fruit and it's high starchy fruit carb. And so I just always encourage people to like be careful of eating too much banana because it can like spike your insulin level. And if you have belly fat, it may cause high sugar insulin response. So that's all. But I mean, I have no problem. I could probably pick up a banana, eat. But if someone is a marathon runner, even more so, like if they're a marathon runner, take 2 bananas with you. It is really, really good energy source. And there is a lot of great vitamins and minerals in banana. So I'm not against banana. It's just like she's asking because I've just spoken about banana being like high glycemic. So if you look at the glycemic index, sugar levels of fruit, bananas near the top, so is pineapple and mangoes are near the top. So if you are pre-diabetic or you struggle with belly fat, which already tells you you're having problems with insulin likely, then you should be a little bit more careful with banana. That's all I mean with that. Oh, I see other questions coming in. Magnesium, I'll just answer Debbie's question. Magnesium is very, very important. That's why I said calcium, mag, D, which is a specific supplement I have, which is like a combination of the 3. Because calcium is with contraction of your muscles. You need calcium to have proper contraction of your muscles, but you need magnesium to have proper relaxation of the muscle. And if you don't have proper magnesium, you might your muscles might be too tense. That you might need the magnesium to help relax the muscle more, better muscle contraction. So you should have both for sure. And I know magnesiums also help with relaxing the digestive tract. So often it's associated with being able to help with a little better movement through the digestive gut. So yeah, like I would say, yes, very important to take it. And there's one supplement that I have that's specific, Cal Mag D together, because D is needed to absorb calcium, magnesium better. So if you want to learn more about the Cal Mag D, you can also put Cal Mag D below on that one. And then Oshone, what is your favorite workout? I love all of them. That's a good question, Oshone. I love all the workouts. But I do have to say, I probably would say I tend towards back. I like back workouts a lot. I've always liked back workouts a lot. I actually don't, it's funny because I like all of them, but the one I don't like the most is actually arms. The reason is because I find it's too small. Like I'm like, I don't feel like I worked hard enough, but I know it's still important. But I'm like, I like big muscles. I like hitting it hard. I like you feel the burn. I like big muscles, But I like arms too. Just that it's like I feel like it's like less like you're like, oh, I did an arm workout. But of course, guys are different. Guys are like, I like the arm workout the most. I want to have Popeye arms, right? So yeah, so that's funny. You wouldn't have guessed any of that. You know me too well. That's funny. Green bananas, Vivian. I've never had green bananas, but from what I understand, it's less sugary and it has lower glycemic. So it probably would be okay. I would have to look more into the green bananas. Again, it ultimately has to do with the glycemic index. That's mainly what I'm concerned about. Oshone, so someone has muscle cramps a lot. Yes. If you have muscle cramps a lot, well, you definitely should take more calcium, magnesium, both calcium, magnesium. That's why I said you probably should take the combination. Like the supplement I was talking about, the calcium mag D is really important because they work in conjunction with each other. But also sometimes that could be lack of water. And sometimes it could be lack of like electrolytes as well. But so there's more to it as well, but making sure if you're having a lot of muscle cramps, you're getting enough hydration and things like that as well. So is your 21-day program the best for learning about inflammation and macros and nutrition? So good question, Sandy. So no. So the 21-day anti-inflammation system is purely focused on inflammation. So meaning it is teaching you how to reduce inflammation in your system, what things to look for in your food, what are inflammatory markers. And those of you who've gone through my program, you now know that there's a lot, like that module 3, you guys went through, there's a lot you have to look in your food. And it addressed how to kind of heal your gut, because a lot of people's gut system is really inflamed. And so it is really based on like that first part of decreasing inflammation. But the 21-day program does not address macros. Macros is another beast on itself. If there is any FFF ladies on here, well, I mean, there's so many clients on here, but yeah, Yvette's on here. Learning macros took a long time in FFF, right? Like it takes, it's another beast on its own. So that takes a lot of coaching, teaching, calculations, understanding the right macros for your body, how to do macro meals, how to do combinations, how to dial the macronutrients. And so that requires a bigger program. And that's where you would see more of that in the FFF program, or potentially if you want to do custom program, that would be transformation program. So in 21-day anti-inflammation program is about reducing and addressing inflammation in your body and healing your gut. And then FFF group coaching program addresses inflammation, teaches you all of that you learn in 21-day program, and teaches you macros, and teaches you how to do the macros, and teaches you how to build muscle, because it has the actual workout programs programmed into it. And you do workout classes with Oshone, who teaches you specific techniques. So the FFF group coaching program is much bigger, just so you understand. Okay, so, but yeah, since we're on that topic, if you want to learn more about the 21-day program or the FFF program, which we're currently uptaking for FFF group coaching, put FFF below. Or if you want to just address inflammation, then 21. So put 21 or FFF, okay? 21 or FFF. And then, sorry, let me see if I'm answering people's questions here. Oh, Julia, I will get back to you personally on that. I mean, it depends on each person on the size of the pills, but you could also crush it up and then dump it in your drink and just drink it. You could also do that. I will get back to you, Julia, on that, because that's more of a specific question about the calcium MACD. Yeah, and Yvette, I see that you want that, and I'll reach out to you, Yvette, on the supplements as well. I see 21, 21, 21. Okay, so lots of people wanting to learn about the 21-day program. We will send that to you. I haven't officially made the announcement, but since you guys are on the call with me, the 21-day link is now open. So the ones who are requesting 21-day, we will send you the link, which will open to the link that tells you what the program is about. And we are starting to uptake the registration for that as well. But we are also uptaking for FFF, the ones who want to learn a lot more about the specifics of macros in the FFF program. Okay, I think that's it. I think I answered everyone's question. Let me know below. Okay, everyone, 24 eyeballs on here. Do you like the Q&A session? What do you think? I'd love to hear your feedback. I'm kind of trying it. I'll see if I like it. Maybe we'll do it again in the near future if it's positive responses. I do really like it when people put questions on the post ahead of time, though, because I can then like more rapid fire answer your questions, right? So yeah, give me so Debbie says she loves the Q&A. Okay, that's good. I didn't know how it would work out. So I'm actually really happy that you guys like it, and you guys can leave me some feedback there, and we will reach out to some of you who have indicated interest in different things. Okay, so love all of you, and I will see you next week.